From a poor background, my parents passed on. I have 6 siblings that I need to take care of. I don't have a job.
Yes.
I was not able to further my studies. There's literally nothing. Let's not blame them. I'm not promoting it. Let's not blame them for wanting it our best.
Yes.
Because I've secured the bag. At least my siblings can go to school.
At least we can eat.
At least we can eat. At least they can go to school. Or I can even further my studies. So and then from there I overlook the fact that Wang Shapa is fine.
I'm not gonna do icebreakers. I'm just gonna start with this one.
Okay.
We're going to be discussing things related to women.
Okay.
We spoke about morality, you and I.
Yes.
So I just want to know, please just explain to me, what is morality according to you? Morality. So morality for me, it would be not really a system, but for us to know the right and wrong. Remember, is it Eve who then knew, or Adam and Eve who then knew the difference between right and wrong? I think for me that is where morality started from. That's where morality stemmed from. So the reason I want you to define morality according to you is because it's going to be important when going forward in this conversation, because it's Women's Month.
Okay.
Ideally, I want us to talk about the things according to you that you think, because the voices that we always hear is it's women and men telling men what's wrong with men. By now we already know what's wrong with men.
Okay.
So I want you to I want to give you an opportunity to be hated by women. Do you want to take that opportunity?
To be hated
by women, yes.
But if I stand by the truth, then it's okay.
All right,
People
no, it's
hate
fine.
me for truth.
Thank you.
Then
So
it's okay.
take your time, introduce yourself, who you are, and then we go.
Okay, my name is Granny
Yes.
Shawani. Yeah. According to me, morality, I would say, I got it from like my life. It's based biblically. My right and wrong, I get it from the basis of my Christianity. That's
Okay.
where I get to differentiate what is right, what is wrong. That's why what is right for me as a Christian
Yes.
might be wrong to other people.
Yes.
So that's where I base my right and wrong.
No, it's fine. I'm actually happy with that, because I told you I'm a person who generalizes.
Okay.
I use stereotypes because just about everyone is going to say I'm not racist, even if they are.
Yes.
but we know racism
Yes,
exists. So
yes.
that's why I'm saying I appreciate where it comes from.
Yes.
So when now your understanding of morality is the same thing that I understand.
Okay.
I'm asking.
Okay.
Because now my understanding is the definition between right and wrong, based from maybe wherever I come from. So if I come from African perspective,
Okay.
my morality would be the certain things that people are not supposed to be doing.
Okay.
So that's where that's my moral code.
Okay.
So when I'm being a Christian, where are your morality standards? Where do you draw the line, and how does it ground you?
Christianity ground me in terms of like biblically what the Bible agrees with.
Yes.
If the Bible says this is permissible,
Okay.
then I do it. I find it to be right. And if the Bible says this one is not permissible,
You don't
then
do it.
I'm not. For me, it's wrong.
Okay.
Because the Bible draws those boundaries to say you don't jump this line.
Okay.
Yes.
So I understand. I think what you're saying is, I think consistent with a lot of Christians, yours is biblical instruction.
Yes.
So what the Bible deems wrong, you consider wrong,
Yes.
and you draw your morality from that.
Yes.
So, according to you, do you know what is feminism?
Feminism, I won't say.
The reason I'm asking you and not wanting to talk about it is,
Okay.
I might be thinking it's something else. Honey, when you believe it's something else.
Oh, okay,
Yes. So,
yes.
what do you, in your understanding, what is feminism?
I believe it's somebody who's there to fight for equal rights for
Yes.
like for women. Yes, but understanding that, fighting for equality between women and men.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. do you think there's a space in biblical theology, or maybe in the Bible or in Christianity? Is there a space for feminism? And if there is, which kind of feminism do you advocate for? Because there's this very vile feminism that scares all of us.
Okay.
Yes. So which one do you subscribe to?
You know, allowing women to be themselves, also agreeing that women are called, women, God has called them,
Yeah.
God can use women,
Yes.
women are anointed, women can be leaders. Yes, that's what I stand for, to say they are anointed, they are appointed, they are also called. Because in some churches or in some other beliefs or in some cultures, like women, they are always being looked down or discriminated. But I would say, Mina, I stand for this one that says women can in fact be the best that they could be, and they can lead, they can influence, they can, they can lead.
I agree with you. Women can lead,
Yes.
women can influence, and women have special powers
Yes, they
that
do.
men don't have.
Yes.
That is why they are women.
Yes.
And that is why the confusion between the roles must not be exaggerated.
Okay.
Because I believe there are a lot of things that men can do that women can do.
That is
Equally, there are a whole lot more things that men can do that women can do. And confusing the two gives us problems. And most of this problem is the problem that we have.
Okay.
Just talking about it, I'm just remembering this. I've heard that there was a male person who went to a EFF rally where it was organized for women, and he spoke there as a woman, and a lot of people say they are not ready for that kind of conversation. Do you feel that us not acknowledging our different strengths, because there's power in knowing that Granny can do things that Mashani can do. There's power in that,
Yes.
because those roles are defined. I recently spoke to a very astounded Africanist who was telling me that in fact Africa is not patriarchal, it's matriarchal. Yes. What are your thoughts on that before we move? What are your thoughts about people embracing their differences, and why trans people, the reason I'm using trans, I don't know the difference between transgender and transversal, so I'm just using the word trans. Yes. So what is your belief, that should we listen to, or should we advocate for people who stand in for other people while you guys are there?
Okay. I don't see any wrong, like men coming to talk to women.
Yes.
I believe that, in fact, if comes as a man, unless if it's a trans,
Yes.
that one, he comes as a woman and talking to woman. But I would say, with me, I don't see anything wrong, a woman addressing men or a man addressing women.
Okay.
For me, I feel we need to come to that level where we understand that Granny can do a better job and in fact speak to men.
Yes.
And speak some sense to men. And
Yes.
men can come and talk and address us in a women conference. And in fact, that will help us understand each other better. But
Yes.
that is how I view it. Because as a man, you come not really to attack us, but to enlighten us, open our eyes about something, because we can be very stereotyped and thinking men are like this, or men thinking women are like this. But if I come as a woman talking to men about us as women, I will talk much better.
I agree with you. You want to chip in? So, there are people born as men who then change their gender. They then go and fight as women. So the biological advantages comes with that experience, and then they go and become professional MMA fighters. What is your feeling about that? So let me give an example. So if I'm a man like this, I can go and say I identify as a woman. Excuse me. Identify as a woman and go and play for Banyana Banyana. Would you think that is fair?
a democratic world that we're living in, I believe everybody has got
Right.
the rights to whatever that they believe in.
So that will be fair according to you.
Not necessarily.
Why would it be
Because you
fair?
are a man, and your strength as a man, when you go and play with girls, even if it's banyana,
Yes.
your strength might be way too different.
So you
from
do
girls.
acknowledge the differences in strength and
Yes, they are there. We are not the same.
Yes.
As you said from the beginning, there are things that women can do that men can't do.
Yes.
So it means we are different. Yes.
okay, and then so if that happens, you regard it as being unfair. If a man goes and plays with women.
Do I have to answer them?
Yes, no, I just want your perspective on it because remember, your invite is we just want the feeling what women feel.
Okay.
Because this is the month of women.
Okay.
We want to hear women perspective on
Okay.
topical issues.
All right.
Yes, because we don't want to assume that women think that one is fine because we want. That's why you see I don't push you on anything. I just want to. What is it that you feel about this topic?
I think, as I told you from the beginning, that
Yeah.
we have different morals, we
Yes.
have different ways of viewing things,
Yeah.
and even where we're coming from,
Yeah.
right? Our family, where we're coming from. Some things that in my family, where I'm coming from, or in the church where I'm coming from,
Yeah.
are unacceptable or even unfair,
Yes.
or doesn't make sense. And you find that other people don't have a problem with that. But to me, as Granny, I would think that it's not fair to have a man playing with women and saying he's a woman.
And getting all those physical advantages.
Yes, because definitely how he's going to run, even if those ones can run, I don't think they can run as fast as...
Are you a preacher?
Yes, I am.
Are you a pastor?
Yes, I am.
So, I want you to correct my language. Do you administer wedding? Do you bless a wedding? What do you call the act of to marry people? What is it called? What do they bless a marriage? What
Yeah.
is it?
They bless the marriage.
I think the term like
There's
to
a wed-
officiate a
Yes,
marriage.
officiate. Yeah, you officiate weddings. So, if you were to officiate a same-sex marriage, that obviously is not in line with your biblical teaching. Do you think you are moving away from what the teachings of your theology is expecting?
Definitely, I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I wouldn't officiate the marriage of same sex.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
All right. No, I think that one is straightforward.
Yes, I wouldn't. I don't officiate marriages yet.
Yes.
But if I'm in the power to officiate
Yes.
marriages, I wouldn't do. I wouldn't go there.
Desmond Tutu, the late Desmond Tutu, his daughter is a lesbian.
Okay.
She married to another.
Well,
Yes, another woman. They are, I don't know what they are, but they are called. They are priests. They are such people who are at variance with the Bible. If they were to be sent to your church to come and be into, would you continue in the church?
sent to church to do what?
To be your pastor.
Under which, I mean...
If your pastor, wherever you are, opens up to be gay, where you fellowship, not you yourself, where you fellowship.
Where I'm fellowshipping,
Yes,
okay?
and then it turns out to be openly gay. Would you continue with the church?
Definitely not.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I would pack my bags and leave right there and then. Then I know that he deviated
Okay.
from what I believe in.
All right. So that would not be biblical, and you would not.
No.
What are the misconceptions about women in the church that you want to maybe to demystify?
You mean
Anything?
church
When?
in general?
Yeah, church in general. Like
Okay, yes, you can come in.
yeah, I mean women who pray. Like I think we spoke about as an outsider myself. I know Ruth. I know Esther as the most quoted, as the most. I I don't even know what the heroines from the
Yes,
Bible.
yes.
I could know there would be others, and I know people speak in bad light of Delilah. They speak in bad light of Eve. They speak in bad light of a lot of women who betrayed.
Okay.
Who's Magdalene? Maria.
Maria.
Yes, Magdalene.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a lot of bad women
Okay.
in the Bible, but there are no good. There are few good stories. Which other good stories can you tell us about women? If you were raising a daughter and you want to motivate them biblically, what good stories can you bring out of the Bible?
I would definitely pick up Esther.
Esther.
Yeah, because of her bravery and.
That's why I said besides the two. Do you know anyone?
Okay.
Yeah, I think you look at the character of Deborah. You know, she was a queen, right?
Okay.
And I think, if I recall well, she led the army of Israel into battle as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the head or the captain of the army said to her, "We are not able to go to battle without you." So they actually allowed a woman to go into the battlefield with men, and they actually won the battle.
Oh, okay.
And I want to believe that as much as she was a leader, she also understood her place in the society.
Yes.
You know, because we're living in a society whereby we consider women who are in leadership as disrespectful. But I believe that in the Bible and even in the modern society today, there are women who are in leadership but are still submissive to their husband in this context, right? Or even to the community at large. There are female pastors who are leading big churches,
Yes.
and yet they're still submissive.
Yes.
So, going back to what you said about the misconception about women, the fact that a woman is in authority does not mean they're disrespectful,
Okay.
right? Does not mean they're controlling men, whether in the church, whether in the society, even in the workplace. Women can still lead and still be submissive.
By the way, your picture is right here. People are seeing you, so please tell them who you are.
Okay, my name is Ivy Dukole.
Okay,
Yes.
Thank you. So that story that you told about Deborah actually sounds exactly like Joan of Arc.
Okay.
You'll see who Joan of Arc is. So meaning that you as praying women are satisfied with whatever's happening in the country.
In terms of.
I asked you to demystify anything, and you did not demystify anything.
Okay.
Yeah. We shoot the Politically Incorrect podcast from the Digital Photography Studios. They are based in Pretoria. If you need any information, kindly contact them on the provided information. Thank you.
Okay. Yes.
Like I said, I want it to be an opportunity for women to tell other women things that are done wrong by other women.
Okay.
We live in a society where we've got men who do wrong things. Our men are called. I mean, I don't want to even talk about our stereotypes because we deserve them. The bad thing that people are saying about South African men, we deserve them. But this, for the purpose of this podcast, we just want to talk about wrong thing that women do.
Okay.
Yes. Biblical, not let me just even say societal expectations of women.
Okay.
What do you think are things that people expect from women, and then which ones are wrong and which ones are right?
You know, the expectations on women, I would say they are many and they are a lot.
Too much.
We are expected to be superheroes.
Yes.
To manage everything, being it especially at home.
Yes.
You know, being able to clean, take care of kids, take care of a husband if you have. So, in a way, you must be a striker.
Sure.
And all that is expected from men. Men expect that from us. Even family, even in the church, we are expected to do all that, right? And I would say the things that we're doing wrong as women is over exercising the democracy or the freedom that we have. And in fact, I always say there's an influence in what we do. That's one thing that I do. It's to say women, we've been oppressed for too long, right? Now that there's freedom, we are abusing it, right?
Okay.
In a way that we are misusing the freedom that we have to abuse each other and even to abuse men.
Okay.
Yes. In a way, we are overstepping And I would say we also becoming disrespectful in the sense that we've got freedom of speech. I can say whatever, I can say my mind without even considering how the other person feels. As long as it's okay by me, then we do that. And we don't even care how the other person is feeling. And I would say, bit by bit, we're turning unkind. Yeah, we are being unkind and inconsiderate.
So I want us to talk specifics. So, you know, Hollywood romanticizes couple fights. You know, you would find a girl slapping a man, you know, and people take it overboard to an extent that other women would even, if a man does wrong, they would go to the house, break doors, the car, they would break the car, they would smash it to pieces, because if he dare retaliate, he's going to have it bad. Yeah, and they would provoke physically, so the man can retaliate, and then that is done. And I've always said, my problem is when that happens and when that is identified, women, you do not come in and join men to condemn such women. You do not call them out.
Okay.
You do not say it's wrong. And a case in point, let me just give you a case in point. Remember the minister Malusi Gigaba. His partner smashed a car. Yeah, so the media said he smashed a car. And there were feminists who were saying after smashing the car, he went and did a protection order, and have her arrested. But because it was a Friday, it means she was arrested on Friday, then she should go and face the case on Monday. There were feminists, and I want to name one, Nombuso Gasa or someone. She tweeted how bad and horrible Malusi Gigaba is to have her arrested. And you know, you sit here, you think, and like, what must happen? So if a woman does that, she slaps you or she smashes your property and stuff, what must a man do? Because I'm taking a lead from a feminist, because we are told we must listen to women.
I know.
Yes.
And right there would be saying like he provoked her. She can't just smash that car.
Yes.
You know, will justify whatever they ate. But there's no way to justify that. If I as a woman slap a man, the same pain the man feels, the same pain that goes when a man slaps a woman. And we should apply the same thing. Instead of trying to say, okay, maybe he provoked her to do that.
Yes.
And why don't we think she provoked him to act like that?
Yes.
And always, that's why I say it takes you back to say, as women, we also have got issues, underlying issues that other people don't know. I mean, we're raising a generation of women that are broken in this age. And their brokenness is so deep that they inherited the hatred, right? From their mothers, how they were mistreated by their fathers and their families. And so most women, that's why when they approach men, they come with that attitude that you can't do that to me. My mother stood for that. When my father did that way, I'm not going to stand. So you end up paying for the things that you don't know.
Yes.
Right? And you come and justify and say, no, he must have provoked her. No, even if he provoked her, the same way we say to men. Men have got anger issues. Why did he slap her? Why did she slap him? Whatever it is that you did, she has a control. The moment she's unable to control that, then it tells you that this woman has got underlying issues that no one knows about. But because, yes, as you said, they will come and want to justify that. And it's so wrong. It's so wrong to abuse men physically, emotionally. Women, we can be emotionally abusive. Even if you are not physical, we can be emotionally abusive. And with words, because like they always say, you can say one word and I will say 100 words. And I will tell you where to and then right there and there, some men, because they can't take that, comes and slap you. Not that we promote that men should beat up on women. They also need to deal with whatever it is that stays, because what I do to you now depends where it lands. Right?
Yes.
If you've got underlying issues, I saw you boil. The moment I dropped it, that what stays you to that level, that killing or beating me, it's not necessarily what I do now. It's what I do finds which pool does it fall into. If that pool is boiling, then it just becomes worse and explode.
They get triggered.
Yes, you get triggered. Thank you. That is the word.
You want to have a bite on it?
No, I wanted not necessarily on what you just said, but I just wanted to add on.
Is your mic on?
Yes, it is on. What women are doing wrong, what we are doing wrong as women. You touched on freedom of speech and all of that, and we are now in a space where we are advocating women empowerment, and that's all good, because like she said, for the longest time women were oppressed and suppressed and they couldn't come out. But I think personally, as much as I'm being empowered, as much as I'm being taught how to express myself, can I do it in a respectful manner? Remember, I've got rights. I've got a right of speech and all of that. The fellow women, let not bring men into this context. The next woman also has a right of speech, a right of expressing herself. In me being right to express my thoughts, can I consider the next woman? Can I consider how they feel about certain things?
Yes.
One of the things she spoke about is that, expectations that we have on women to women. Can, as much as, let's give an example in the context of you are married, right? I'm a makoti to granny. She's my mother-in-law. She's got her own expectations and she has a right to express those expectations to me. But can she consider me also?
What does that mean?
For example, I'm married to her. She might expect me to have children then and then. That's a societal expectation that in South Africa
you married to her or you married?
No, she's my mother-in-law. Her son married me.
Yes.
She's my mother-in-law, for example. She would have an expression that because my son is married.
Yes.
That's okay.
It's a fair expectation.
It's a fair expectation. But then how do you communicate that to me? In you expressing yourself, how does it land to me? We might not be in a financial position, me and your son, to have a child.
So in that regard, you are saying, and especially Motabeng Yatari, on fertility, women are most likely to be perpetrators of women abuse.
Definitely, yes. Because now the son is not in the picture, the husband is not in the picture, but it's woman to woman. It's mother-in-law versus daughter-in-law.
Yes.
And the infertility could be coming from the son.
Exactly. But in the society,
it's always a woman.
We always say something's not right with her. She does not want to give my son a child. She doesn't want to do this. You understand? As much as it's a concern as a mother, for me, I think it's justifiable. But then how does she bring it? How does it land? In her expressing herself, can she respect my rights also? What if I don't want a child?
Yes.
I have a right to say I don't want a child.
I understand.
She must express herself, but then how does she bring the matter to the table?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that as women we need to safeguard as we.
Okay. So calling each other out, you guys have lots of women meet more than men do.
Yes.
So when we meet, we drunk or we happy or we lying to each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
About our things, and you guys meet sober a lot.
Yes.
You guys meet a lot more sober, a lot more constructive spaces than we do.
Yes.
I bet where you fellowship, women meet more than men do.
Definitely.
So when you meet in those spaces, in terms of moral regeneration, what things do you speak about women? Especially calling women, because I believe there are a lot of things that we do that are wrong. But as long as no one is going to call me out, I'm not going to stop.
Definitely.
Because I benefit from that. Yes. So,
Yes.
which other things do you think women need to be called out on? And do you want to call out other women? Let me give an example. If you call out, I believe, according to me, the ANC Women's League. The ANC Women's League in previous conferences have advocated for a red district. So a red district is a portion in the city where a lot of cities have them, modern cities around the world have them. They're not physically red, but it's just a red district where prostitution is open game. When I say it's open game, it's some sort of allowed. In South Africa, prostitution is illegal. So, but it's practiced. I don't even know if I'm using the right words. It's there. So, such a movement, if you as a woman, you want to vote for the ANC, but you know the ANC Women's League says women must be empowered by having prostitution being legalized. Do you find what is your perspective on that?
Let me go back to what you were saying.
Yes.
That in church we do empower her. We have so many sessions where we meet as women, and you say, what is it that we, teach with each other? Because I think the question that most men have is that, what is it that you're telling each other? Because you have more issues and unresolved issues, more than even men, as you said.
Yes.
We meet there, and this is what I'm doing recently. And I've got a movement called #DearInlaws Rahobala, simply because there's a lot of hate that women, we are causing each other, like she said, right? What I do is to tackle real life issues. There's a video of mine that is trending on TikTok. It's Drop the Attitude Makoti. Because women think when you do in-laws, you must attack mother-in-law and the sisters-in-law and leave Makoti out. We're not in a position where we say, take a mirror and look into yourself. So I am more of advocating for, say, take a mirror and also look into yourself, how you have an impact in the negativity and the hostility that happens between women. Because we are the cause. The reason why there's so much disagreement, so much hate, so much, down talking and everything is because we've got underlying issues ourselves. As much as I'm going to this one as Mama Zalaka, she's got expectations. Those expectations also, they are coming somewhere. How should you express them to me without even considering my feelings and my views and my goals? Because this is my marriage. I might have married your son, but this is my marriage. You need to leave me and let me manage it and control it the way I want to manage it.
Give me distance. Give Makoti time to breathe.
Yes.
All right. So sorry to cut you. So because of time, so here's the thing. Men get exasperated sometimes trying to help women fight women issues, because we are left with egg in our face. I remember a case in point where Mam Pincha the late has physically hit Makuti wa Babes Odumo. And people were already speculating that she set him up, she provoked him, because she set the camera, she provoked him, he hit her, and then she opened the case. And while we were all happy that, okay, well, it's a case of GBV, he apologized and they got back together. And people say that's an example of why women don't want to take responsibility, but they want us to help them. Let me give another case in point. You know when Makudumana and Thabo Bester went back to, it was mostly women who were, on social media, a lot of women, I know women personally. My cousin, she knows who she is. She says she doesn't mind Thabo Bester as a boyfriend. A lot of women have said Thabo Bester is actually an ideal boyfriend. But Thabo Bester is a rapist. Thabo Bester is a murderer. Thabo Bester is a poster boy for GBV. But as in most cases, as long as someone shows money, whatever character they come up with, as long as there's money attached to the person, then suddenly he's not harassment, he is for flirting. I mean, the line between flirting and harassing depends on the money and the power. It's an example that Thabo Bester is showing. People were drooling over their love affair, their affection, holding hands. But, as men, when we call it out, they say we are haters. It's women who call us haters. A lot of women love Thabo Bester. I'm not saying men don't. Today we are just speaking about women. What would you want to say about women, and what damage does it do to the general feeling about men want to assist women, but women make it difficult for women?
I would say, like what you said, women are emotional beings. I think what attracted women is how maybe they saw whatever act that they saw there.
Yes.
It's what so many women desire to have, right? In men. And that's why women will go and be with that gangster that they know has done all these bad things.
Yes.
Simply because these men have managed to master what women want. Mostly, okay, you can attach it to money, yes, and I'll tell you where the issue of money is coming from in women. Most women are coming from very broken, poor background. And that's why most of the time, their love is attached to money. Not that we don't need money. Please hear me clearly. I know they're going to fight me for this. Yes, we do need money. But the way we are so entitled to the heavy money. Like,
so when there's money, the other things you don't mind.
No, not all women.
Yes.
But those who disregard the personality and the character and all these things that you mentioned simply because there's money, it tells you, it goes back to the underlying issues. Somebody didn't have money, somebody had, envisaged this dear life, and then she has boyfriend down as keep.
I want you to have a bite on that, and because we are closing.
Okay.
50 seconds.
Yeah, most definitely. I think it will also depend on the background of as a person, where do I come from.
Yes.
Let's say, for example, I come from a poor background. My parents passed on. I have 6 siblings that I need to take care of. I don't have a job.
Yes.
I was not able to further my studies. There's literally nothing. Let's not blame them. I'm not promoting it. Let's not blame them for wanting it our best.
Yes.
Because I've secured the bag. At least my siblings can go to school.
At least you can eat.
At least we can eat. At least they can go to school. Or I can even further my studies. So, and then from there I overlook the fact that Wang Shapa is fine.
Yes.
And then I end up choosing Arada Kishapiwe than Krobalekatla. Arada Kishapiwe than these 5 siblings of mine here, not having food, toiletries, not being able to go to school. It was just winter now, not being able to afford clothes or even basic school shoes.
Yes.
So for some women, and I'm not promoting it, it's simply because of the background they're coming from. Let's take this person from this background, a poor background, and let's compare them to a person who comes from a well-off family. They're not gonna stand for it.
Not.
This is a person who might be in a position of say, okay, you give me money, I get it. I've had money before. My parents are giving money. I'm not gonna stand in for you to beat me up.
Yes.
I'm not gonna stand the abuse. I'm not gonna stand the emotional abuse or the physical abuse because I'm already independent. Even if I depend on my parents, but at least I have something to fall on. But then for somebody who has nothing, they may tend to stand for it because if I let go of the bag, then what?
Or even don't care how he treats other people. I can say he's a rapist, he's a murderer, he's a thief. He does that to other people, and to me, he's a gentleman.
Exactly.
And he gives.
Crying in a shack and weeping in a Bentley is a motivation that a lot of women console themselves. They let it slide. They let the monsters get away with it because of money. When African men encourage African women to go to school, not depend on a man, not indoor must, because they must sustain themselves, they must learn to. Do you know what they are called? They are called ngame, they are called selfish, they are called stupid, they are called boring. You cannot have a society that relies on women being given things and think by that you'll just preach indoor must, and you can also preach a man must provide. And you think by doing that you will stop GBV. I don't think it will, because I believe the moment a woman has a choice to take rubbish and draw a line, so no, this is rubbish, this is disrespectful, this is physically, this is domineering, I want to be dominated fairly, but this I cannot take. A woman has a right to live. And by the way, I'm a man. You know these monsters that beat women? We are also afraid of them. We are also afraid of them. So it's difficult for us to intervene, to come and help women, because we are also afraid of these men. The same men who kill, who abuse women, they also kill us. You understand where I'm going? So if men had a right, they would not want all those people to be dated. They don't want those people to have relationships. But like we said, Thabo Bester raped and killed, but women still went for him, and they still want him. So it's difficult for men to protect women if women don't want help from men. Please explain this. Not only explain, encourage women on how they must do it, because it may not start now.
Yes.
It may start by being a woman being, because if you don't eat, it's difficult to let go of a monster. Please tell us.
Mina, I would personally say women need to heal from their past. That is what I believe. If I grew up in a family that is poor, it is my responsibility to make sure that where I am, I'm going to do my best to become the better, right? And also empower myself in terms of knowledge. But my basics or my ground or what I'm preaching is heal from the things that you've been through from the past, so that you can make better decisions today. The decision of staying with that a monster is influenced by your background that affect your present. Yes, you are in that shack. Yes, you don't have food. I mean, poor as you are, you can still make the right choices and decisions. But the reason why you stay in that abuse is because of the things that you've been through from your childhood that were normalized. If you were with a mother that was beaten time and again and she didn't leave, that has created a picture for you to say it's okay to stay in an abusive relationship. In fact, you can even translate it and say, as long as he loves me, he takes care of me, and he says I'm his number one. And the moment you heal, you get to understand that no, in fact, this thing is nonsense, and I'm not going to stand it. If a man says he loves me, you will know the color of love. The reason why we don't know the color of love and stay with those monsters is because our brain were damaged from childhood. We can't differentiate love and abuse. And that's why when we try to intervene as a man, saying, I'm stepping in, Granny, this man is abusing you, I'm like, what are you talking about? He's taking care of the bills, and this man loves me. After that, he pamper me with money, and then I'm good to go and look like the devil until the day he kills me.
A man can only do so much, but he might end up killing you. When you tell possible victims about this as a woman, what do you get?
Sure. I think the one thing that you always get is that he's taking care of me, he loves me. By the way, there are other women who, when a man does not beat them up, they say the guy does not love me. I think it goes back to what she said, how you grew up. Some people interpret love as love is violent. If he beats me, he loves me. It's not easy for a woman to come out of it unless they themselves decide to say, I'm gonna come out of it. And I would say to us as women that it's high time for us to unite and be one. If Ivy comes from a disadvantaged background, can we support her? Can we help her to come out of it and develop herself, go to school, study, start a business, something like do something with your life, so that at the end of the day you are able to see that this is real love. This is not real love. I'm not going to stay here because I lack money. There are many ways of making money. We can develop ourselves, empower ourselves, and come out of it. And that is why, going back to what you spoke about previously, some men will consider a woman disrespectful when they have money because now they can stand on their own. Now they're independent. Or she's not disrespectful. Sometimes not because of their disrespect, it's because they cannot stand the abuse. They cannot stand the disrespect from men or even other women, by the way. Now they have a voice, now they've found themselves. Not that you find yourself because you have money, not that you find yourself when you've got a degree, but you need to be able to be empowered to a point where we can stand for ourselves. And also find yourself as a woman who is Ivy at the end of the day. So have that identity.
Would Ivy date a man who's got a previous record of hitting people?
Ivy, I wouldn't do it because if he has done it before.
A leopard, it's very difficult to change its colors, but me being a counselor, I believe people change. And dating a man who has a record of beating other women, definitely I would do a serious assignment and assessment to check that indeed he changed. And I will check if he says he changed. I will do my assessment.
Do you know why it bothers us? It bothers us because we tell women, don't date these people. Don't date they're called deadbeat dads.
Okay.
Men who run away from their responsibilities, they don't take care of their responsibilities, they take the money, they drink, they do. Men hate those men.
Okay.
The reason we hate them is they are messing up our good characters.
Okay.
But we hate them, and you guys love them. Why do you do this? You are the ones who give them babies, you are the one who gives them love, you're the one who queue to go and date them.
We give them even more than they deserve.
Yeah.
Yes, and then you say they're bad boys.
I think even desperation also. If you are, for example, you are in your, and it's also another societal expectation that you must get away with it. If I'm now in my late 40s or late 30s, society expects you to have been married by then. And most of the time it's woman on woman.
Yes.
It's us.
Yes.
And now I have this pressure of getting married. Let's not even go to getting married. Being in a relationship, right? And I feel like all my friends, they have boyfriends and maybe fiancés. Some of them have been married.
So beautiful as you are, if people know that you're not dating, it affects your self-esteem, ne?
Not exactly, but then the minute it pressurizes you, the minute you get pressured, it might affect your self-esteem.
Yeah.
It might.
So Granny, so Granny, not dating, not being in a relationship, and people knowing that, Aujoli, puts you under pressure to even take. Again, you've got rankings.
Yes.
Someone is a 2-3, someone is a top 10. It puts you in a under pressure to even date any other person.
That's if you don't know yourself. You need to have something that grounds you to say, I am not gonna fall for anything. I think being content, it's the one that will make you select and say, as much as I am in my late 30s and I'm not dating anyone, I'm not just gonna take any Tom and Jerry that comes my way.
Okay, so if a married man dates an unmarried woman, the unmarried woman knows.
Yes.
Is that abuse?
It is.
Okay. Is that an abuse? Okay, what do we call them? A side chick.
Yes.
A side chick of a married man. Is she in an abusive relationship? Just by that mjolo. She knows he's married. She dates him. Is that an abusive relationship?
Emotionally, yes.
I wouldn't say
she went into it knowing
yes
she's abused. We're not in.
Sure. From the outside, we might look at this like,
which side?
So it's me and him. He's married, right?
Yes.
I might not feel he's abusing me because he takes care of me. He's treating me well. You guys from outside may perceive that as abuse. It might be abuse. It's quite a
I want you to
challenging
understand
one.
the reason I'm asking this because it's our culture.
yes
Yeah.
I spoke. You see that old man there. I spoke to him. He said, Matole Motsega says, even though we are a matriarchal society, polygamy is essentially our culture. And you look at the numbers. Polygamy, we cannot run away from it because men are few, women are plenty. The reason I'm asking you is it fair for the wife?
it's not.
Is it fair for the wife?
It depends. If a wife believes in polygamy,
Yes.
then it's not necessarily unfair because she knows that. Okay, can I give an example of
Please do.
in the Zulu culture? I know it's not only them, even other cultures.
Yes.
Polygamy is an in thing.
All cultures.
Yeah. So, for example, I think with the Zulu culture, it's more like well known.
Open.
For a Zulu woman, for them it might not be a big deal, right? Because with them it's like a well known thing.
Okay.
And then, for example, let's come to the Pedi culture, right? It is there, but it's not as popular. So for me, it might be abuse.
Okay.
But then for somebody from a different culture, it's normal. It's okay for them.
All of this, I wanted to go to this point. Please talk to side chicks now.
Okay.
Talk to them now. Give them a message now.
Okay.
Please talk to them.
I would say to the side chicks, as much as that man is supplying for you, taking care of you emotionally, physically, and materially, that man is abusing you or it's playing with you. As long as his wife doesn't know, because he's there misleading you, giving you kids, and the next thing every day he goes back home.
Are you a side chick?
No, I'm not.
No problem. Are you a side chick?
No, I'm not.
Have you been one?
I've never been.
You don't know what they feel.
I don't know what they feel.
Exactly. So they don't want to be side chicks. I believe most of them don't want to be side chicks.
Okay.
What other options? What do you want them to do?
They must know, like, if somebody belongs to somebody else, why would you want another woman to feel a pain that you don't want to feel?
I understand.
Turn around.
I want you to tell Mjoli Kali, what do you want them to do now?
They must date the men that are free, that are not married. Because married men belongs to somebody else. Unless those men, and I always say it's not about this.
Because even if a man is not married, I want you to hold it there. Even
if men in those ones.
No. You see, this is the part. Remember, I said in this podcast, particularly this one, we want to put. We know men do a lot of evil things and wrong things, but we want to talk about men, women, responsibility of women. Now we are talking about them. What do you want that side chick to do? Because you are speaking to her now. What she's sitting there, she's listening to you.
Yes.
What do you want her to do?
To love herself enough, to value herself enough, to be content. If she doesn't find the one who's available, to be content with who she is.
So she must. There are women in their 30s who do not want to date young boys in the early 20s.
Yes.
Most of the men they want are already married or are in relationships. What do you want her to do? Because I'm coming to you, I just wanted to finish.
To wait for the ones that are available, not to mess up.
Ask Jola.
No, I'm available. But ask a break a relationship, ask a break a marriage in the name of because what goes around comes around. Let me tell you something. You break somebody's marriage today, you survive, right? Your children and your children's children are going to suffer the tears of that woman.
You are speaking as a married woman.
Yes.
Yeah, I think as much as I'm not married, but I'm here thinking, don't be a pain in another woman's marriage.
Yes,
Don't do that.
No, I like the balance. She's speaking as a married woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the side chicks listening to her, they're very angry where they are.
Definitely.
So I want you to speak.
I think for me, I would say don't be pain to another woman's in another woman's life. If I were to get married, it would be nice for me to find out that my husband is a side chick. I'm not married, but even if I'm in a relationship, it would hurt me to find out that my boyfriend or my fiance or my husband is a side chick.
I want you to talk to a side chick now. Talk to a side chick. What do you want her to do?
Leave that guy.
She must leave and then Jola Lema.
Find somebody else who's not taken.
Who's available.
Who's not married, who's not engaged.
If it takes 5 years,
it's fine. So be it.
So you are saying side chicks must not date anyone until they find someone who's not in a relationship and is not dating.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Let's close it.
Please.
All right. Thank you, guys. Okay, next topic. When you come, what do you want us to discuss? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What do you want us to discuss?
I would really like us to discuss childhood traumas that we went through as women. We need to deal with that and heal.
I might find it difficult to be the one who's facilitating that, but we'll find. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.